Hello again everyone, Joanne with StampingInTheValley.com, and welcome to my craft room today. It's a beautiful day in Upper East Tennessee, and I've got the windows open in the craft room, so if you hear the birds chirping a little bit, that's why. So I wanted to work with the Lovely Words Thinlits dies, and I thought what a great way to make a shaker card, and they really came out cute. Look at that. They're a lot of fun. Shaker cards are always a lot of fun. And these are the perfect dies to do that with. So I've made two already. I was kind of making a set of them. Sorry for the glare on that window sheet. But let's start with what we needed to do this project with. First, we're going to need a base of 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. But we're going to open it like this instead of like that. Okay, for the shaker, we're going to open it like that. And this is the new in color Berry Burst. Then we're going to use from the Floral Designer Series paper stack this first layer. That's at 5 1/4 by 4. And then we are going to need this for our sentiment. This is Whisper White at 3 3/4 by 3. And then the inside piece, because I am using a colored cardstock, I always put a white piece inside for sentiment. This is at 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Okay, so we will start to bring in the big shot and start cutting everything out in just a moment. Okay, let's start to work with the big shot. I put the first layer up here, and I love this paper. Remember, guys, this is double-sided. You could use either side that you want. I just really like this. And then I take my framelit that says Hugs, and I put it right there in the middle. Very simple. Bring in my cutting plate. Make my sandwich and crank it through. So I kind of try to do all my big shot work together. You know, like if I have to use a big shot, it's like, okay, this is what I have to cut. So then I do all my cutting. Isn't that cute? That's nice. I fell in love with the Lovely Word Thinlits dies. I have to admit, guys, I love the way that they attach. I love the versatility of them. There's a lot of projects that you can make with them. I want to bring in my gold foil. And now this is the stitched framelits. Let's talk about these stitched framelits for just a second, okay? This is how they come, of course, in the framelit package. But you get circles, ovals, and then on the other side you get your squares. So this is a very versatile pack. I really like using these stitched framelits with the Lovely Word Thinlits because of the I don't know, the element that the stitching makes around it. So, but when you line this up, you put your stitched framelit down, then you put your sentiment in the inside. I use the Hugs because it's a circle, and that's what I was doing. You could always do the heart or the, and for the hearts you would need the heart-shaped framelits if you wanted to make a border around it, which that doesn't come in the stitched. So with this, I just use the circle. Now, kind of look, sometimes I got mine a little bit off. Try to get the most equal amount of gold all the way around that circle. And sometimes it's hard for me to do when I'm behind the camera. I'm going to try, just want to come down just a little bit. Take your time. There we go. I like that. I'll put my plate on top, make my sandwich, and just roll it through. You know, the greatest thing about the big shot is if you have a power outage, you can still craft. Because it's not electric. Okay, these are fantastic elements. Let's see how this one came out. Just really rolls out of there nicely. Everything is cut. You saw, I just ran it through one time. That's it. Came right out. And it looks like I've got this pretty well positioned around the circle. Yes, I do. That looks very, very nice. Okay, back in a minute. We'll start to put things together. I'm ready to put my window sheet in. I forgot to tell you at the beginning of the video, you also need some acetate or window sheet. I have the window sheet from Stampin' Up. It's superior. The thickness of it is fantastic. Your card's always going to look superior with this product. So this is cut at 3.5 by 3.5. I take my part of the card here, flip it over, and we want to adhere this to the back of this to make our window. I have to admit to you guys, this is the third time I am putting this video together because I kept forgetting. One time I literally forgot to put the window sheet in, and I was like, oh no, there's no editing this out. I've really boo-booed. So anyway, it does happen. So just take this and use your liquid glue, your liquid Tombow, and just press it. Don't let it run into the window here that you have cut out, so stay to the edge, but just adhere it down. That Tombow is really going to do a great job on that, just on the edges, okay? Now then, what we're going to use is these most wonderful adhesive strips, okay? The foam adhesive strips right here. So let's take this out of the package. And we're going to peel one off. And they come off in a nice strip, nice long strip. Now, when you have the backing on the other side, it's kind of hard to bend it. And everybody says take it off to work it around. It does work around easier, but you can do it with the paper on. I like to leave the paper on because I'm touching it. So I want to come out a little bit. That was my daughter texting me. Let me come over here. Okay, and this will meet. This will be perfect and meet right up there. And it's okay if you touch the sides because you really kind of want the oil on your finger to touch the inside here to make it unsticky. So just make sure that when this comes together right here, this is really together. I have a gap. Okay, so I'm going to want to work this just a little bit, and it's okay. You can pick it up. It'll stick. Just pick it up and work it a little bit closer. Just a smidge. Okay, now I'm right up against it. Okay? Just like that. Perfect. But that is very important. You do not need a gap. Okay? And now on this side, you don't see that at all. Okay? Now what you're going to do with some more foam strip is put it on the outside of your card. Okay, this way now you have the exact thickness that your card is going to stick up. I'm going to fit that around and I'll be right back. Now we want to add our sentiment to the back of the shaker part of the card. So I brought my hugs in that I cut out in gold and I set it on this, this little white piece that we have for the sentiment. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of bring this over. I still have my paper on the back. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball this to make sure that that's where I want it. And yes, that is perfect. Okay. So what I do is I just take a little pencil and I mark my corners. Nobody's going to see this because you're going to cover it up. Okay. This is just the way that you know that you've got this perfect back there. Flip it over. Add your snail, just like that, and then just line up on your corners, almost like you're doing a little photo, you know, in the corners. Okay, now you know that's going to be perfect. I just bring my hugs in right there just to give me a template because we already have it there, and I mounted the sending you hugs, it's going to say. When you have something that's straight like this, if you put it toward the top of your block, you can see that it's going to be straight. So that's how I like to do these little sentiments here that are straight. Just ink it up, okay? And I'm going to just leave that there. Get my card straight. And I'm going to come right by the tip of that H. There. Perfect. See how I stamped it right inside that circle? Great. I'm going to remove this. Now this is what we're going to see. Isn't that perfect? And then what I'm going to do is take this and glue it on top. And that's how we're going to start to get that element done. Okay. Now we want to go with our sequence. Now it's time to add our sequence. I'm going to attach some sequence to the card first using our fine tip glue pen. This way, when the card is even sitting up, it'll still look like some are suspended, and I like that. The reason why I've already had them sitting there is because when I brought this over and I looked at where I wanted them, so that they would show through the clear part of the strip, or of the opening. Okay, now, so you could either add the glue to the sequence or put the glue on the paper. It doesn't matter how it works. Get that one right there. And let's get that one right there. So it takes a second for this to dry. And as that's doing that, we're going to bring this in and we're going to peel all of our backing off of this now. Or, well, you know what? We're not going to do that. First, what we're going to do, my little trick, inside here, this is sticky around here. And you don't want your sequence really to stick to it. Sometimes it's okay because they'll just kind of hang. But for the most part, you really don't want stuff to stick. So, I devised this little way. I got a Q-tip. Okay, and I spun the end out. And I took my embossing buddy and I just tapped it down onto the Q-tip so the end kind of gets powdered. And then I took it and I just ran it around the inside of our little circle there. Okay, and along with the fuzz on the Q-tip and then the powder, I get most of it unsticky. And I don't have to worry because I still have my paper up there. I know you've seen people take their embossing buddy and run it inside. I just can't get it up in there that well. So that's what I did. Now we will take off all of this paper. Peels off nicely just in a strip. Okay, let's move that up there. Let's bring our card in. Hopefully these have dried. Okay, whoops. And now we want to just take some sequence, and this is from the, I don't know, it's retired Fancy Frost or something sequence. And I'm just going to go ahead and pile some in the middle, right here. I happen to like the sequence, because I like it to shake. Okay, that should be enough for another card, right? Now I'm going to take this top. Yep, let's get our hugs going the right way. And let's make sure that we have any powder off of there. Okay, so now we're going to put this over the top, leaving our 1/4 inch border around our card, kind of just centering it, and great, right there. Okay, now this is really cute, and this is how, oh, look at that. That's awesome, isn't it, guys? Look at our shaker card. And see, the other ones that are glued on there, they will always stick there. And then it'll hold some of the sequence with it when it shakes. I think that's so cute. That's a lot of fun. Okay, so I loved it like this, and I love the hugs being there, but really and truly, it needs the gold. Look at that. That looks fantastic. So again, my fine tip glue. And what's great about this fine tip glue is that you can actually write with it. So I'm just going to come around. Sure. I guess. Have a little clog there at the end. Okay. So you can really, once you get the glue flowing, there we go. You can actually take the tip and spread it almost like you're writing. Just going to come around this nice stitched framelit and into my words here, getting most on the tip and at the little curves. Tips and curves, that's where you want the glue. I'm trying to watch myself in the camera at the same time that I'm doing this. As if I run off, I'm sorry. Okay, good. Now then, just flip it over. Make sure you're going the right way with it. And you will have a little bit of wiggle room because of the liquid glue. And right there, that's how that's going, guys. That looks great. Usually I put my big clear block on this to hold it down for a minute for me. Thanks so much for, we're going to let that dry. Let me get my big block. Let me put, that's usually what I do. Okay, thanks for watching my video today. I hope you've enjoyed this shaker card. There are a few more elements to a shaker card, but just go one step at a time. If you place a $25 order with me this month, these are your 2 free kits for the month. This is a card made with the lovely Words Thinlit die and the daisy punch. Love that. And you'll get an envelope. And then here is the little crate that I'm going to send you with the flowers. I also send the toothpicks to hold the flowers up in your little crate. I'm going to send you the fluff that goes in there also. There will be no stamped images, but you will get the embellishments. I just can't stamp them. That's a Stampin' Up rule. And so it's just with the $25 product order. That's before shipping and handling and taxes of Stampin' Up product. And as you can see, here we go. We've got 3 beautiful cards today. I sure enjoyed making these shaker cards with you today. I love an interactive card, don't you guys? Please go to stampinginthevalley.com and click on the big blue button to place your online order. Remember, it's the new catalog, the new annual catalog. If you need a catalog, if you order, and you're a new customer, you order $25, I will send you a brand new catalog for free. If you need to speak with me, please email me at joannemaddie@outlook.com. Thanks for watching today, guys, and happy crafting. I hope you make a nice shaker card.